Assalamualaikum and good day to Miss Zuleika, Payrollpanda team and Suhami. We hope you are doing great today. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Amir Iqwan and I am here together with my team members consists of Abi Umaira, Nadia Shamimi, Nurin Hanisha, Umishaira and Yasmin Shamimi. Together, we are excited to present our group project on Human Resource Information HRIS, focusing on payroll management using Payrollpanda and Jibble. This video, we will show how we are able to understand and use Payrollpanda and Jibble for our company, Kopi dan Bunga Sendian Berhad, to manage payroll clearly and systematically. So, let's get started. Now, I will explain section 1.1, which is how we create a company in Payrollpanda. First, we created our company profile in Payrollpanda under the name Bunga and Kopi Sendian Berhad. To do this, we went to the company settings and filled in the company details. The information includes company name, company address, registration number, statutory information, and bank details. The reason why this step is important is that Payrollpanda needs complete company information before the payroll process can be done. Company details are used to identify the employer, while statutory information is used for EPF, SOSO, EIS, PCB, and other government contributions. Bank details are also important because they are used for salary payments to employees. Next, we added the company locations. In our system, we created two locations which are HQ Bunga and Kopi Sendian Berhad located at Kuala Lumpur and Bunga dan Kopi Cafe at Perak. These steps helps the company organize employees based on where they are working. For example, headquarters employees are placed under HQ while cafe employees are placed under the cafe location. After that, we created the working schedule. For the headquarters, we set the working schedule from Monday to Friday, 8 hours per day, while Saturday and Sunday are off days. We choose this setting because HQ employees usually handle office and management tasks during normal working days. For the cafe, we set the working schedule from Tuesday to Sunday. The cafe is closed on Monday because we can usually have higher customer demand, so cafe employees are needed more on Saturday and Sunday. This schedule is suitable for cafe operations because it follows the actual business need. Now, we created positions in Payrollpanda. Positions are used to organize employees based on their job responsibilities. For example, we added positions such as Administrative Executive, HR Executive, Finance Executive, Staff, Accountant, and Sales Intern. This make it easier for HR to identify each employee's role in the company. Then, we created departments. The departments include administrative, marketing, finance, human resource, and operations. Departments are important because they group employees according to their work functions. This also helps the company manage payroll records, reporting, and employee organization more systematically. Moving on to the second requirement, we created a payroll cycle. To set up the payroll cycle, we went to the payroll settings section, click on cycles, and rename it as payroll cycle for easy identification. Then, we set the payroll cycle to end on the last day of the month. We chose the last day of the month because Bunga dan Kopi Sendian Berhad use a monthly salary payment system. This setting ensures that salaries are calculated consistently every month. It also reduces confusion because employees and HR know exactly which salary period is being paid. Besides that, it allows the payroll team to generate reports on time and ensure that payments, deductions, and contributions are included before payroll is finalized. Then, we created three types of payroll policies. The first policy is standard office employees. This policy is used for employees who work fixed office hours such as HR, finance, administration, and marketing staff. We chose this policy because these employees have a consistent schedule, so their monthly salary calculation is easier, more stable, and more accurate. The second policy is shift employees. This policy is suitable for employees who have different working shifts, especially employees involved in cafe operations. Even though they may receive monthly salary, their attendance and working hours may change depending on the shift schedule. This policy helps the company adjust payroll based on shift and attendance record. The third policy is daily workers schedule. This policy is used for employees who are paid based on the actual number of days they work. It is suitable for part-time workers, temporary workers, or casual workers. The company might use this policy because not all workers have fixed monthly salary, so Payrollpanda needs to calculate their pay based on actual working days.
Now, I will explain for section 1.2, where in this section, we will demonstrate how employees are managed in Payrollpanda. A total of 11 employees were added into the system with different employment categories to showcase Payrollpanda's payroll flexibility. The employee categories include monthly salary employees, hourly salary employees, daily salary employees, an employee without EIS contribution, an employee without mandatory EPF contribution, an intern, a non-Malaysian employee with permanent resident status, and a non-Malaysian employee without permanent resident status. By creating different employee categories, we were able to demonstrate how Payrollpanda manage various payroll settings and statutory contribution requirements. To manually add an employee, Payrollpanda requires three sections of information. First, personal information such as employee name, identification number, nationality, and contact details are entered. Second, employment information including salary, start date, and statutory information is completed. Finally, the employee is assigned to the appropriate department, payroll policy, and payroll cycle before saving the profile. For organizations with many employees, Payrollpanda provides a bulk import feature. First, the employee import template is downloaded from the system. Next, employee information is entered into the Excel template. The completed file is then uploaded to Payrollpanda, where the system automatically creates employee records. This feature helps save time, reduce manual data entry, and improve accuracy when onboarding multiple employees at once. When adding a new employee in Payrollpanda, personal information, employment details, and statutory information must be completed. In addition, if the employee has worked for another employer during the same year, previous employment information such as income, PCB, EPF, SOTSO, EIS, and YTD records must also be provided. This ensures accurate payroll processing and statutory calculation throughout the year. Payrollpanda supports employee exit management for different situations, including death, leaving the country, and resignation for a new job opportunity. In each case, the administrator updates the employee's termination information, records the reason for leaving, and enters the last working day. The system then processes the employee final payroll, including any outstanding salary, allowances, or deductions. After completion, the employee profile is archived to maintain accurate payroll records, prevent future payments, and ensure proper employee documentation and compliance.
For this slide, I will explain the process of running payroll in Payrollpanda. First, we open the Payrollpanda system and go to the payroll section. Then we select the payroll month. In this project, we prepared the payroll for 3 consecutive months, which are May, June, and July 2026. After selecting the month, the system automatically displays the employee list included in the payroll cycle. We can review the employee salary, allowance, overtime, and deduction before finalize the payroll. This process helps to make the payroll management more organized and accurate. In this slide, I will explain the payroll result generated by the system. The first result is the bank file. Payrollpanda can generate different types of bank files such as Maybank, CIMB, or public bank. These files are used for the salary payment through the online banking and help automate the salary transfer to the employees. The second result is the statutory files. These files are generated for submission to the government agency such as EPF, SOTSO, EIS, and LHDN. These features helps to reduce manual work and ensure the statutory compliance. Next is the result for the payslip. To generate the payslip, we select the payroll month and click the preview button before downloading the payslip. The payslip contains the employee salary detail such as basic salary, allowance, statutory deduction, and the net salary. In this example, the payslip shown are for the May, June, and July for one employee from Kopi and Bunga Cafe. These features allow the employees to clearly view their salary information every month. For this slide, I will explain how to add different payroll items in the Payrollpanda. First, we open the Payrollpanda system and go to the payroll setting. Then, we choose the payroll items and click the add button to fill in the payroll item details. In this example, one employee named Abi Umairah received a meal allowance of 50 ringgit. The payroll item automatically appears under the employee's payroll information. And these features helps HR to manage additional payments or deduction more easily and accurately.
Next, I will explain the difference between adding payroll items through the Employee tab and the Payroll tab. To add a recurring payroll item, we first open the Employee tab and select the employee profile. Then under the Employment section, we scroll down to the Recurring Payment area and add the payroll item. The key difference is that items added through the Employee tab are recurring payroll items, meaning that they will automatically appear in the future payroll cycles until removed. In contrast, items added through the Payroll tab are one-time payroll items that only apply to a specific payroll months. This is useful for temporary allowances, bonuses, or special payments. This slide demonstrates how to create a custom payroll item. First, we open the payroll items section. Then, from the employee profile under employment, we add a new custom payroll item by entering the item details and selecting the appropriate calculation method. Once saved, the custom payroll item will appear in the payroll item list and can be assigned to employees as needed. This feature provides flexibility for organizations that require unique payroll components that are not included in the default system settings. Here, we can see the payroll summaries for May, June, and July. For May, net salaries paid were 38,314 ringgit and 45 cents, with a total payroll cost of 49,336 ringgit and 80 cents. This was the highest payroll cost among the 3 months. In June, net salaries paid decreased to 31,970 ringgit and 50 cents, while total payroll cost dropped to 41,022 ringgit and 25 cents. The reduction was mainly due to lower salaries and employer contributions. For July, net salaries paid were 27,588 ringgit and 90 cents, and the total payroll cost was 34,598 and 10 cents, making it the lowest payroll cost during the period. Overall, the payroll trend shows a gradual decrease in salary expenses and employee contributions from May to July. So, this slide shows how to access year-to-date or YTD payroll data. We begin by opening the Employee tab and selecting an employee. Within the employee profile, we navigate to the payroll section and choose year-to-date data. The system then displays a summary of payroll information accumulated throughout the year, including salary payments and statutory contributions. This feature is useful for payroll tracking, reporting, and ensuring payroll records are accurate and up-to-date.
Now, let's continue with Jibble implementation for Bunga and Kopi Senyum Rahat.
First of all, we created a Jibble organization for Bunga and Kopi. After signing up, I selected my role as owner, which gives me full administrative access to manage all settings, add employees, and configure drum tracking rules. The organization name matches exactly what was set up in Payrollpanda to ensure seamless integration between both systems. Next, we added users to Jibble by syncing them. From Payrollpanda, the employees must be synced to ensure data consistency between both systems. This integration allows us to pull employee information directly from Payrollpanda without manual data entry. Now, to add existing employees, we went to the Employees tab in Payrollpanda, selected the employees we want to add, and click the Add to Jibble button in the top right corner. Once successfully added, a Jibble logo appears next to each employee name, confirming the sync was successful. We verified this by checking the member list in Jibble. Then, we configured 3 time tracking categories to meet different employee needs. Firstly, face recognition. We enable required verification by facial recognition to prevent body bunching. This ensures that the only actual employee can clock in by verifying their face biometrics. We set unusual behavior to flag so managers are alert to suspicious activity but employees unblocked from clocking in. And then category 2, selfie verification. We enable required selfie when clocking in and out to capture a photo at the time of clock-in. This confirms physical presence and provide visual evidence of attendance. Last category is location tracking. We enable required location tracking to record GPS data when employees clock in and out. This helps verify that cafe staff are actually at the cafe, the staff at the HQ are actually at the HQ, which is Kuala Lumpur, and not clocking in from elsewhere.
Next, I will demonstrate how public holidays are managed in the system. As different states in Malaysia observe different public holidays, separate holiday calendars need to be created before assigning them to employees. First, we go to the time off and holiday sections and select holidays. Click Add New Calendar to create the Kuala Lumpur holiday calendar. Then, repeat the same steps to create another calendar for Perak. After both calendars are created, assign each calendar to the relevant employees based on their working state. Now, we will move on to setting up the paid and unpaid leave policies at Jibble. We begin by creating separate policies for annual leave, medical leave, hospitalization leave, and unpaid leave. To do this, click to Add Policy, then complete the required details by enter the leave name, assign employees if needed, set the accrual settings, and save it. The same steps are then repeated for the remaining leave policies. First, in annual leave policy, we created 3 different annual leave based on employees' years of service in accordance with the Employment Act 1955 of Malaysia. Employees with less than 2 years of service are entitled to 8 days of annual leave, those with 2 to 5 years receive 12 days, and those with more than 5 years are entitled to 16 days. Each policy is assigned according to the employee service period. The leave is granted as a full yearly entitlement, allowing employees greater flexibility to plan their leave. The leave cycle starts on 1st January to ensure consistency across the organizations, and non-working days and public holidays are excluded so that the only actual working days are charged. For medical leave, we also created 3 categories similar to the annual leave structure, accordance with the Employment Act 1955 of Malaysia. Employees with less than 2 years of service are entitled to get 14 days, 2 until 5 years are entitled to get 18 days, and more than 5 years are entitled to get 22 days per year. The leave was assigned annually and according to the employee service period. Medical leave is granted only with a valid medical certificate. The leave cycle also starts on 1st January to ensure consistency across the organization, while public holidays and non-working days are excluded as medical leave only applies to scheduled working days. Next, in hospitalization leave, we created it in accordance with the Employment Act 1955 of Malaysia too. It is applicable to all employees regardless of year of service with up to 60 days entitlement per year. It is granted annually to ensure employees have sufficient protection for long-term medical situation throughout the year. The leave cycle starts on 1st January and public holidays and non-working days are excluded as it only applies to working days. Last but not least, created unpaid leave, where this leave is applicable to everyone in the company. Unpaid leave means employees can take leave but will not receive salary during the leave period. Public holidays and non-working days are excluded because employees are already not required to work on those days, so only actual working days are counted.
For this slide, I will explain the integration from the Payrollpanda to the Jibble. First, users need to log into the both Payrollpanda and the Jibble system. Then, in Payrollpanda, go to the settings section and select the integration. Next, click on Jibble and choose Connect with the Jibble. After that, insert the role and organization information and then click the Connect. Then, fill in all the required information and select all the employees before clicking the Save button. When the integration is successful, an indicator will appear in the system. After the integration is completed, all the employees will be linked with the Jibble automatically. For the new employees, click on the Employee button and go to the Employment section. Then, enable the button Add to Jibble. Lastly, the Jibble icon will appear beside the employee's name in the Payrollpanda, showing that the employee has been successfully linked with the Jibble.
Next, I will explain how overtime from Jibble is synced with Payrollpanda. Employees record their overtime hours in Jibble, and once the overtime is approved, the data is automatically transferred to Payrollpanda. The system then calculates the overtime pay based on the predefined overtime rate and displays it under payroll items. This process reduces manual data entry, improves accuracy, and ensures overtime payments are included correctly before payroll is finalized.
Now, I will show how the unpaid leave process works in the system. This feature makes the leave application process easier and more organized for both employees and managers. First, open time off sections and click Add time off. Then, the employee chooses unpaid leave, select the preferred leave date, and submits the request. Once submitted, the application status will appear as pending. The manager will then review the request details before making a decision to approve or reject the application. After approval, the unpaid leave record is updated automatically in the system, ensuring accurate leave tracking and a smoother approval process.
This slide demonstrates that leave was successfully taken through Jibble. The employee submitted an annual leave request by selecting the leave type and leave dates. The request was then reviewed and approved by the manager. Once approved, the employee's leave balance was updated to reflect the leave taken. This process ensures accurate leave tracking and help organizations maintain proper attendance and leave records within the system.
Lastly, we will show how employees can view their payslip. First, HR needs to complete the payroll process in the Payrollpanda. After all, salary details, deductions, contributions, and payroll items have been reviewed, HR will finalize the payroll for that particular month. Second, once the payroll is finalized, Payrollpanda will automatically generate the employee's payslip. This helps HR save time because the payslip is prepared by the system based on the completed payroll data. Third, HR can send the payslip to employees through email. Before sending, HR can select the option to email payslips and confirm the employee's email address to make sure the payslip is sent to the correct person. But the admin can also preview and check each employee's payslip before it is sent. This is important to make sure the salary amount, deductions, statutory contributions, and net pay are correct. Fifth, the employee will receive an email from Payrollpanda. The email will include the payslip notification and the payslip file as an attachment. Finally, employees can view their payslip by downloading the PDF file attached in the email. Through this method, employees can access their payslip easily, safely, and anytime when needed. In conclusion, the implementation of Payrollpanda and Jibble enables Bunga and Kopi's the number high to manage payroll, attendance, and employee records more effectively and accurately. The integration of both systems helps streamline HR processes while ensuring compliance with Malaysian statutory requirements. That's all from us. Thank you for your time and attention.